You know that feeling when Friday rolls around and everyone asks, "So, what are your plans this weekend?" And your answer is nothing. And you're completely okay with that. Maybe even excited about it. While the world rushes from event to event, party to party, desperately trying to fill every hour, you're perfectly content staying home. And contrary to what you might have heard, this doesn't mean you're antisocial or lonely. So what does it really say about you? To find out, I've researched the psychology behind this mindset and discovered that people who genuinely enjoy having no weekend plans possess some remarkably rare personality traits. Traits that psychologists are now studying with increasing fascination. And the first one might surprise you, the most defining characteristic? You're self-sufficient, not in the survival sense, but psychologically. Psychologists describe this as a deep-rooted sense of inner completeness and stability. Unlike people who need constant external validation, you have what researchers call strong self-sufficiency. Here's what that looks like. You're not overly concerned with other people's opinions of you. Slights don't affect you much because you have a deep-rooted sense of your own worth. You don't need praise to feel good about yourself, and you don't need busy weekends to prove you're living a full life. While some people find solitude and quietness difficult to endure and use diversions to avoid them, self-sufficient people are perfectly happy to be alone with themselves. And here's the thing, this isn't about being antisocial. Self-sufficient people often make great friends and colleagues. They just don't need constant social interaction to feel fulfilled. The second trait? You possess unusually high self-awareness. This heightened sense of self-awareness doesn't happen overnight. It requires time and introspection. And it demands that you be comfortable with your thoughts, feelings, and reactions. When you spend Friday night at home instead of at that party, you're not hiding from life. You're actually doing something most people avoid, getting to know yourself. Your strengths, your weaknesses, your desires, your fears, all without the noise of external influences clouding your judgment. Researchers have found that introverts have higher blood flow to their frontal lobe than extroverts do. The part of the brain that helps you remember things, solve problems, and plan ahead. This deep self-knowledge leads to better decision-making, stronger relationships when you do engage with others, and a greater sense of personal fulfillment. Which brings us to the third trait, and this one has its own acronym. JOMO, the joy of missing out. While everyone talks about FOMO, the fear of missing out, you've discovered something far more valuable. JOMO is the emotionally intelligent antidote to FOMO, and is essentially about being present and being content with where you are in life. You don't feel the need to compare your life to others. You've learned to tune out the background noise of what you should be doing. When you free up that competitive and anxious space in your brain, you have so much more time, energy, and emotion to conquer your true priorities. Studies show this isn't just a nice feeling, it has real mental health benefits. Research revealed that JOMO was negatively associated with social media, addiction through lower loneliness and psychological distress. That quiet Saturday at home? That's not you missing out on life. That's you choosing what genuinely matters to you over what society says should matter. The fourth trait is something beautifully understated. You appreciate simplicity. People who cherish life's simple pleasures find joy and contentment even when they are alone. A good book, a homemade meal, the sound of rain, morning coffee without rushing. These aren't boring, they're profound. You've discovered what the rest of the world is desperately seeking. Fulfillment in the present moment. Not in the next event, the next achievement, or the next social gathering. Right here, right now. So if you're someone who hears no weekend plans and feels relief instead of anxiety, congratulations. You possess some genuinely rare traits: self-sufficiency, self-awareness, the joy of missing out, and an appreciation for life's simple pleasures. You're comfortable being alone, and you don't mind if one weekend you have nothing going on and spend your time at home reading a book and focusing on your hobbies. In a world that constantly tells us to do more, be more, and see more, you figured out something revolutionary. Sometimes the best place to be is exactly where you are. And that's not missing out. That's wisdom.